Hello everyone and welcome to the Gunpla Network. I'm the Spicer and today's unboxing of the high-grade Murasame from Gundam Seed Destiny is brought to you by Canadian Gundam. Canadian Gundam is your one-stop shop for all your Gunpla and Plamo-related needs here in North America. With a private warehouse option, flat rate shipping to the US and Canada, and a vast catalog that is updated regularly, Canadian Gundam's got you covered. When you're placing your next order, don't forget to use the promo code Gunpla Network to save 10% off. The MVF M11C Murasame is a mass production mobile suit from Gundam Seed Destiny. This fast-moving, transformable mobile suit is utilized by Orb as a balance to its vast army of M1 Astrays that do have some decent mobility, can't really exactly fly and fly very fast at that. The Murasame has two modes, its mobile suit mode and its mobile armor mode, which is more of a wave rider-y mode, and has a pretty standard stable of weapons. You have a beam rifle, beam saber, missiles, and your Gatling guns in the head, which really aren't there for anti-mobile suit combat, but more of maybe anti-personnel or really just kind of screening missiles that are coming at the mobile suit. There are 2 hardpoints for missiles, or at least there are 4 in total on the wings, then 4 on the front skirts that are enclosed, so maybe those aren't technically hardpoints. But regardless, pretty cool. It's very, I would say, Zeta-esque, but having a more standard plain form factor. And generally a very interesting looking grunt suit that doesn't get a lot of love from Gundam Seed Destiny, as there are a lot of suits that don't get a lot of love in Gundam Seed Destiny, unfortunately. Being a mobile suit of Orb, much like its M1 Astray brethren, it gets cut to pieces throughout the series and very rarely wins any encounters, but it is a cool mobile suit nonetheless. Now, taking a look at the box is pretty standard fare for an older high grade of this era. We have some nice box art of the Murasame with some transformed versions in the background and all the logos you'd expect. This 2006 high grade looks to be pretty much what you would expect from a grunt suit of this era. Now, of course, once we open the box and look at the plastic, we may find differently, but a lot of these older grunt suits are actually pretty solid. It is nice that we get some transformed versions in the background that don some of what we'll see in a moment are the decals that come with the suit, which is actually really nice, as these older Seed suits tended to come with at least some very basic stickers for designations and such. This is kind of a neat thing we get to see. Now, as we take a look at the side of the box, we get some main pilot information, and since this is a grunt suit, we don't really get a lot. I don't remember these characters, honestly. They may be important people. These may actually be some of the crew members from the original Archangel team, but I don't remember. Then we get some in-action shots of it being transformed and being utilized in space in both its mobile suit and its Wave Rider modes. Don't really know why it's in Wave Rider mode, but here is Binks Bonks trying to say hello to everybody. The other side of the box gives us a model kit view of the front and back, which looks pretty nice, but of course this is painted, so keep that in mind. We have a beam saber, which is pretty solid, but you can attach everything in its flight mode as well, which is actually really nice. You see some nice big missiles. You see the decal stickers and how the missiles attach. I'm gonna assume those missiles are gonna need some stickers or some paint, but maybe if we're lucky, they'll actually come molded in those colors. As we look at the front and back, we get to see what this fairly standard but somewhat more complex looking grunt suit looks like. Once we open the box, we see a couple of plates, such as the A plate. This is going to have multiple colors, the only one that has this, with some white, some off-white, some red, and of course the clear pink beam for the beam saber. And it only has one, which is a little odd, but it's a grunt suit, so I'm not all that surprised. I do have to say it is a little weird going back to some of these kits and not having the hole or the letter punched in the actual runner, so it was hard to actually distinguish what plate was which, but it was actually pretty easy once I looked at it. It just kind of caught me by surprise because no modern kits really do that. Kind of a little weird, but it's there. The B plate is all in white, and I assume this is probably where we're going to see the most stickers, as this is really going to be where a lot of those colors come in with the different wings and the fins and parts of the leg. But overall, everything's molded. We see some nice panel lining opportunities, and we do get to see a little bit of how those hips are going to work, but pretty standard fare for the era. As we move to the C plate, it is molded in all black and is going to feature a lot of the torso, the shield, the weapons, things like that. Nothing really much to write home about here. We do have some nice sculpted details, but really not a whole lot going on. I do have to say I like this beam rifle because it has the camera on the side. I don't know why I think that's cool. It's just, you don't see a lot of mobile suits that do that, so that was neat. We get the D plate molded in gray for most of the internal workings, and it is pretty nice, I guess. Pretty standard for what you would expect. You get the little wheels for the landing gear, of course not painted up as you'd expect, and the kind of parts formation parts for the hands as they fold in, and the missiles. So, as I expected, we're going to have to probably paint those or sticker those up, unfortunately. We also get a stand, which is really nice. I was kind of not expecting to get one with this, but I'm very glad we did, and of course all the PC joint pieces. Nothing really to write home about there. We have the sticker designations as well as the color correction stickers. Nice to see these decals. Love these, wish these would make a comeback. Less so for the color correcting stickers. A lot of black and red stickers here. Little concerning, but we'll see how they stick. The manual is pretty standard fare. We get a nice shot of the actual model kit in action, then some more information about the Murasame. Price stuff you can all find on the wiki if you're interested. Once again, no idea who those pilots are. As we go to the centerfold here, we have a bunch of nice action shots, stuff that we saw on the side of the box, just bigger here so you can get some more detail out of it. A little bit more information, of course it's in Japanese, but some of the designations and stuff are in English, so kind of nice to know. Then you have the color guide here, so if you do decide to paint this, which you may need to depending on how those stickers work, you have some options there. Really hoping I don't have to do a lot of sticker fitting on this, but I guess we will see. Fingers crossed, it's not too bad. After taking a look at everything and somewhat being a fan of high grades of this era, like the Jin, the Seagyu, the M1 Astray are all very solid model kits from this era. I'd say slightly more so than like some of the Zaku Warriors, which weren't bad, were just proportioned a little oddly. I'm actually quite excited to build this. This is not necessarily one of my grail kits, but something I've been on the lookout for a long time, and they had a reissue recently. So I was very excited to actually get to review it and see, is this worth the wait? Is this, a high grade that is held up, or is this something that you might want to skip? From looking at the box and looking at some of the posability and stuff, it seems pretty standard fare for this era. We have to keep in mind that this is from 2006, so those stickers are kind of to be expected with something a little bit more complex like this, with some wings and different cuts like that. But I'm actually pretty excited to build this, honestly. I'm really hoping this impresses me to where maybe in the future I'll want to pick up another one, to have one in the Wave Rider mode, because I do think it looks pretty cool with those missiles, and then have one in mobile suit mode, because that is my preferred mode for pretty much any mobile suit. If you've built this though, let me know in the comments below what your experience was. Is there anything I need to look out for, or if you're looking at maybe getting into this, leave me some questions and I can try to answer them to the best of my ability. As always, friends, I've been the Spicer here for the Gunpla Network. Please stay safe and keep on building.